Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go. Kevin here, top 1 financial advisor and best-selling author. We are here to talk about the stock market. Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. I am back in my regular studio, and we're going to continue with our regularly scheduled programming. And with that, today we need to talk a little bit about Salesforce. Now, I'm doing this during the day. I'm trying to shift and do things during lunchtime, or at least try to. And the stock right now is up close to 6%. And it brings up a lot of good questions about Salesforce because they've been in the news the last few days. They are releasing 10% of the staff, which is not good, but obviously that is going to have an impact on the stock. And I think that's one of the reasons why it is up today. So the question is this a stock to buy? Is it just something that you should add to the watch list, or is this a perfect time to sell? So what I did was do a brief analysis and outlook on the company. I want to share those news and notes with you and then let you decide what are your thoughts about the company, because for me a lot of this was surprising. So up close to 6% at the time that we're doing this video, great for Salesforce. However, over the last 6 months, it's down 17%. If I look at over the last year, it's down 36%. Those numbers aren't great, and they are worse than the S&P 500, so that's not good. But even this, I said, well, let's go back 2 years. I mean, Salesforce was added to the S&P 500, not the S&P 500, the Dow Jones. This is the quote-unquote most prestigious list to be on. It's the 30 largest companies in the U.S., and you would think Apple's up there, I guess Walmart is up there. Again, the biggest brand names are inside of the Dow Jones. They were added in 2020, and since 2020, 2 years ago, actually 3 years ago now, they're down 32%. 32% over the last 2 years. So technically this is 2021, but you guys still get the point here. It hasn't been good for Salesforce for a while now, and that is including 2022. But if I go back to 2020 and even 2021, it just has not done well. In fact, over the last 5 years, it's also underperformed the S&P 500. That's the largest 500 companies. So we're running into some issues. So here are some of the things that stood out to me. The first thing, Salesforce invented what we call SaaS, that is software as a service. And what Salesforce is most known for is their CRM system, their customer relationship manager. And what that does is basically say, if I'm someone who is selling things, I need to know who I talk to, my team needs to know who I talk to, what we talked about, what's in the pipeline, and how we're going to continue making sales. And they pioneered this whole system because back in the day when you were selling stuff, it was really you and your calendar or whatever your planner said. And that was kind of it. But what Salesforce did was take all of that, put it into the cloud, and allow you to access that information and share that information across the internet. At the time, it was revolutionary. Now, everybody is software as a service, if you will, including Google Docs and Cisco and literally everybody almost, but they're the ones that pioneered this entire thing. Now, when I look at the company, I'm thinking it's obviously still needed. People still sell things, and Salesforce is still quite ubiquitous in the business world. Therefore, it should at least be solid. It is not that. It is not solid. I'm sorry. Okay, so what I did first, do they have any insider buying? Are there people, whether it's the CEO, CFO, the board of directors, whatever, are they buying into the company in the last, 3 months, in the last year? The answer is no. Zero insider buys, which tells me that they don't really believe in the company and its future. Now, that's not a declarative statement. Somebody could buy tomorrow, and not every company has insider buying. However, to look over the last 2 years and see if the stock has consistently fallen, and to look, even over the last 1 year, nobody in the company said, hey, look, I want to go ahead and buy in. I think this is an opportunity to buy. We've got insider buyers for SoFi. And SoFi is terrible stock right now. Not company, but stock. And you still get insiders say, hey, look, I believe in this company. I'm going to go ahead and buy in. That's not the case for Salesforce, so it's quite interesting. The next thing here is they are inconsistent on net income. So I'm going to show you this real quick on the screen. So this is actually from Public, the premium platform, which makes it really easy for me to do these videos because I can find this information very quickly. So net income, remember, that's the money you have after you pay all the bills, taxes, expenses, so on and so forth. Well, this goes back to 2019, and it's inconsistent. Look, you've got 362 million, great, fine. And then things start to dip down, right? We're negative in 2020. Obviously, that was a pandemic. Okay, fine. And you have a huge quarter in Q2 of 2022. $2.6 billion. That's amazing. Next year, it falls off, but you're still over $1 billion. and then it's kind of up and down, and we'll see what happens beyond 2023. But these last few quarters, negative 28 million. 28 million even. So I guess it kind of zeroed out here. And then they have 68 million in net income from 2023, Q2 of 2023. Now, the reason why their numbers are different is because companies have a fiscal calendar and not always go by the regular calendar. It's confusing. It's stupid. I know. But they're already in 2023. They're already actually going into Q4 of 2023, even though we're not even a full 2 weeks into 2023. But aside from all of that, that's just weird, right? You go from 200 million to negative 28 million to 2 billion to 1 billion. It's just kind of all over the place. That goes all the way back to 2019, pre-pandemic, which is, again, interesting and very inconsistent. That's something that would concern me. Now, do interest rates impact this company? Yes, it impacts all companies, but they're established. They've got money. They're not in a huge debt burden where you would expect them to fall off the map, or continue to fall off the map rather, like a company that is brand new or a company that is over leveraged, which means they take on too much debt for the amount of money that they're pulling in. But this is my biggest concern here. I'm glad that the stock is up today. I don't own it. I don't plan on owning it either based on this information, but it's just interesting that it just, for a company that's been out there for a while, that's been more established, this is not what I would expect to see. Right, I would expect to see something that's at least solid or consistent or slightly growing, and it's really doing none of those. What they expect, though, and this is from a lot of reading and also looking back on what Salesforce has done itself, they're expecting, or they were used to rather, bringing in 20% year-over-year growth. It's a 20% revenue, meaning, first year I'm bringing in 100, next year I'm bringing in 120, then 20% on top of 120, so on and so forth. But that's more of a newer expectation. Like, I would say back when Netflix first came out, back when Meta was really big, so 2012 to 2000, maybe 17 or so, we expected tech companies to grow double digits every single year. It seems like that time is over for Salesforce. It seems like that time is over, and they have somewhat signaled this by buying Slack. They even said they want to do a streaming service. I don't know how that is going to work and be the business streaming service rival to a Netflix or Disney Plus, but only for business professionals. I wasn't a fan of that idea when it came out last year, but it just doesn't seem as attractive as what it used to. It used to be a household name, something that was good, consistent, solid. Can't really call it a Microsoft, but it was a Microsoft Lite at one point in time. I can't say that now. So these are the things that I'm looking at Salesforce. Let me know, do you own it? What are you thinking about it? For me, it's a sell. For me, if I had to look at it and say I have it in my portfolio, this would be a sell for me because it hasn't been good today has been great, but it hasn't been good for the last several years in a row. And the fact that this income is inconsistent is concerning. And if we are moving into a recession, that's a big if. We don't have any real confirmation. They've had to let go people. That's one. But if we are moving into a recession, that usually doesn't bode well for sales. And it's not a time and place where people buy more software and go into that space, as we have seen over the last few quarters as well. So I would expect a little bit more of the same. And for me, I can't really be excited about Salesforce. So we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong. If you're investing in it, hopefully I am wrong, because I want you to make money if you have it. But for my money, I'm sitting out on Salesforce. So let me know what you think about Salesforce. Also, other programming notes. We are adding 2 videos to our members only this week. Other programming notes. Obviously, I'm here this week for the foreseeable future. I'll let y'all know when I go on vacation next time. But I want to try and do these videos. My goal is to have these out between 2 and 6 Eastern. We'll see if we can continue to do that. So a lot of times these will be done in the morning, recording wise in the morning or in the afternoon, and then come out anywhere between 2 and 5 p.m. or 2 and 6 p.m. Eastern. That is the goal. Does that matter to you specifically? Maybe, maybe not, but you're still going to get your videos Monday through Friday unless anything else changes, and I'll let y'all know that. All right, that is it for me. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.